combination, it's Cashman Bali, your Orbit Sports Show host. We're here at the new baseball field on the turf. It's beautiful. Looks nice as we have the big MP logo all the way out to the center, and we've got the nice Comet logo right behind the camera here today. Just standing over on the nice brand new home plate. But let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about the new baseball and fields and how the integrity of the teams and also how the competitiveness is going to be changing from all the way from the old field to the new one. As the spring 2024-2025 seasons come to an end, the baseball season started on May 5th. It's that time of the season for big hits.
There's a cut. That comes right side. It's going to be fair.
Great pitching.
Be on the field. And that one way outside. Swing and a miss. 1, 2, 3.
And another round of cardiac comets.
Off fashion. That one's hit high. Going deep out to left field. Hits the wall. And North Polk is your 3A champion.
But this year's going to look a little different, as a new baseball turf field is close of being done. The team will have to adapt to the new field and how balls roll and hop. The turf field project broke ground in the fall of the 2024-2025 school year. I took the time to talk to head coach Coach Zoske for baseball and to hear his opinion on the new field and how the game of North Polk baseball is going to change and look.
I think it's got to definitely be an advantage. Every year we play, all our opponents, this might be the only game they play on turf, so it might be a little different. But that's one thing we'll have to figure out too before we get started is, all the nuances and the ball, how the ball hops, and to be honest with you, sliding into a base is one of the biggest things that that would concern me about guys figuring out. I think it'll play really nicely. I think it'll play really nice. I think the confidence our boys will have in fielding balls and running on it, they'll love it. And I just think that confidence will carry over into all the other fields we play. And I think it'll be a home field advantage here for a while for sure. They all will this year. When you lose 9 guys, that just opens the eyes of everybody else. Like they see an opportunity to take advantage of the fact that we have all these new guys and I think North Polk baseball, and Coach DeBrink too is going to say the same thing about North Polk football. North Polk football and baseball are at a very good spot right now, and I think that whether you win a state title or wherever, you're at North Polk, people highlight that on your schedule. And we do things really well around here, and I think we'll see a lot of good arms this year, a lot of their best pitchers. I know we play a really nice schedule. And we do that on purpose. We want to see good games. We want to make guys better. We want to compete, especially when we get to the end. We've got all these experiences, and yeah, I think when you win state, especially in those years, you'll have a target on your back because they're trying to beat the defending champion. No matter what your roster is, and it'll be a fun year. The guys will enjoy it, and the ball games will be fun, exciting with the new field, and it'll be as fun as it was last year, with the goals that we'll have. Well, that's the way we want to start. You find out a lot more about your team when you play teams like that, and knowing those 2 programs, which we played the first week last year in a different order, but they just give you an idea of where you're at right now, and they find things for you to work on to make yourself better very quickly. They do different things. Yankees probably a different team than Waukee Northwest, and you throw Van Meter in there too that same first week. Even though they're 2A, they're one of the best teams in the state. They've got state titles in the recent future, in the recent past too, and they're going to make you better. And you're going to find out a lot of guys. A lot of guys are going to get to play this week, that first week, and we'll have a lot of questions answered that first week. And we're bringing the old traditions to the new field. There's going to be some things that we'll do on the new field that will establish themselves, but we still want to be North Polk baseball. We want to do the things the way we've been doing them and create the excitement of coming to a baseball game that we always have. It's just going to be a nice fancy new field that it's unbelievable. You have to go out there and see it to even believe, you know, to even understand how pretty that place is. But yeah, there'll be some new ones. You know, there's not going to be any pushing water off the field to get the field ready. There's not going to be any dragging of the diamonds. So we got to find some new things to do before a game at night. You know, so I don't know. We'll have to see what the guys come up with. I've asked a lot of coaches that same question. Like, know several coaches who've got turf now, and they really say that the turf and practicing on the turf, you know, you get that confidence of the true hop every time. And the confidence of playing a ball on a turf and gaining the confidence of you don't even think about the bad hop anymore actually carries over onto the grass field. Like, we won't have to, I hope we get to the point where we don't have to practice on grass to prepare for grass. I think the turf will give us pretty good confidence that we'll be able to feel balls no matter what's coming at us. We'll have that practice in, and you know, I think the way we'll end up playing some things is, you know, I think the turf kind of takes care of all that. I think the confidence of playing on the turf and all the true hops and everything, guys will stop thinking about that when they get to grass. So it'll be interesting. These are all questions I'm ready to get answered, you know, trying to think of all the different things that could come up. So yeah, me too. What's my favorite part? Well, right now it's the bullpen. I think there's going to be a time when we're going to get a chance to decorate and build shelves and all these things in the new clubhouse that they build on the back of the dugout. I think the dugout's going to be one of my favorite places too. I've already had a chance just to go out there and just sit and realize that it's 5 feet deeper than the one we had. There's so much space in there that those areas are just, God, they're phenomenal. Those are the parts I don't get to see every day. You drive by and you see the green turf, and man, it's gorgeous. But yeah, I think probably the bullpen and the dugout's probably going to be my favorite part.